Today is my 39th birthday, and I thought it'd be really cool to do a podcast based on some advice I would like to give to my younger self, particularly my 19-year-old self. If you're 19 or if you've been 19, you know at that age you feel like you know it all. You have everything in order. Your dreams and desires are all laid out in front of you, and you know exactly what you want in life. And then life sometimes happens, and you don't actually know what you want in life. So I thought today I would reflect on things that I have learned over the last 20 years and give that 19-year-old self some of that advice. Grab a notebook, maybe grab a tea, and let's dive in. Before we start with the advice for the day, I wanted you to take a moment and just reflect. Reflect on the younger version of you. You know, the person who used to be so full of dreams and desires and wanting to do things with their life. That person that maybe thought that they had it all figured out. Look back on that person right now. What does she look like? He look like? She or he? What age are you? What are you doing with your life? Are you still a child? I know that I joke about this podcast being for the 19-year-old self, but in truth, my youngest, most opulent version of myself was probably when I was about 8 or 9. I think at that moment in my life, I still was full of dreams and desires, and then also growing into a young lady. So life started to step in right after about 9 years old. I want you to picture that version of yourself. I want you to see how happy you were, how fulfilled you were, how peaceful you felt. And then I want you to do something today. I want you to go and hunt for a photo that you have of that version of yourself, if you have one. And then take that picture and put it somewhere where you're going to see it every day. And then for the next several weeks, maybe even several months, when you pass that picture, I want you to talk to that person. I want you to tell that version of yourself all the things that you might have needed to hear in that moment, and maybe even things that you still need to hear right now. I want you to bridge that gap between that amazing, perfect version of who you are to where you might be now in life, where you might feel a little disconnected, you might feel a little bit sad, you might feel a little bit overwhelmed by life. Go back to that person. Tell them it's going to be okay. Tell them you've got them. Tell them you're ready to heal anything that's happened in your life that's made you feel less than. Give yourself a chance. Give yourself some guidance. And what's going to happen when you do that is you will feel that bridge gapping, or that bridge building, I guess I should say, in between where the gap currently lies. You're going to start to feel the healing coming and feel a little lighter about yourself. And you'll probably be even able to tap into some of those tools and some of those traits that you used to have that maybe have been dormant for so very long. Good luck with this exercise. I've been doing it the past month and a half, and it has really served me well. Now let's get to that advice. Number 1, it's okay to be single. In your teens and 20s, Melissa, you tend to date, or at least be in serious relationships throughout that period of time. In no time were you ever truly alone with yourself and really single. take the time to be single. Don't ditch your girlfriends for boys to camp out in basements and watch movies. Make the memories with those girls, because what's happening now is when they sit around laughing and sharing some of the wonderful memories that they have from their teens and 20s, you're not a part of it. Be single. Find out who you really are, what you really want, not what they want you to be, not the food that they like to eat or the clothing that they want you to wear. Figure out yourself. And once you do, your life is going to be so full and so alive. So stay single, even if it's just for 2 years. Number 2, never settle. Never settle on anything. Never settle on a job. Please don't ever settle in a relationship. Don't settle on a hair color, a type of clothing, a type of mascara. Don't allow yourself to settle into a comfort zone. Because what's going to happen is you'll be so comfortable. It will be so hard to crawl out of that hole, basically. Don't settle. Number 3, chase your dreams no matter what anyone else says. You have a lot of people in your life that really love you and they care about you and they really only tell you things because they want what's best for you. But what their opinion of a situation is not always what is reality. So don't settle, again, for what they say that you should do. Go get it. Go after it. You want to be an actress? Go try to be an actress. You want to be a public speaker? Absolutely. You want to sing and dance for a living? Have at it. But never settle for anything else in your life, because you're only going to wonder what could have been. And I have to be honest with you, that what could have been is way worse than what may have happened if you went after your dreams. Number 4, learn to say no, and no means no. You tend to say yes because you never want to hurt people's feelings. You always want to be inclusive. You always want to help people out. But it makes you tired. It drains your energy. And now that you're a mother, when you say no, you often say no, but then you end up changing your mind and you end up giving in, and that only confuses the situation. No means no, and it's okay to say no. Saying no helps build boundaries. Saying no helps keep you healthy and keep you sane. So learn that 2-letter word is so very important. Just say no. On the other side of this, which is number 5, one moment, one introduction, one lesson, and one decision can completely change your life. So never say no to an opportunity. And how will you know if something's an opportunity or you're just saying yes to make someone feel better? It's just that. An opportunity lights you up. It excites you. It makes your whole body feel like you have fallen in love and you have butterflies. Say yes to that. Say no feels like settling. It feels like, oh, fine, I guess I'll do it. It feels like your inner voice says, I don't really want to do this, but I'm going to say yes because I don't want to hurt that other person. Say yes to the opportunities. Say no to everything else. Number 6, spend more time with your family. There is a period of your life where cell phones, I know you probably don't understand what I'm about to say right now, but cell phones take off and you can do everything on your cell phone. You can text, you can go on social media, which at 19 you have no idea what I'm talking about. You can Google everything. I know you just learned what Google is and you think it's crazy, but Google runs the world. Cell phones take over for a long time. I'm going to say a solid 10 years of your life. Try to put the phone down. When you're around people you love the most, your family, your friends, shut it off. Shut off the phone, put it away, put it in your purse, leave it in another room, and be present with the ones that you love. They don't always get to stay. They're not always going to be here. So trust me when I say this, put the phone down. Also, ask your dad to teach you how to change a tire. Teach you how to do some manly, quote unquote, things that maybe you didn't always ask him to do, or maybe you always didn't think you needed to learn because you thought you would have a man in your life the whole time. Again, because you don't know how to be single. But ask your dad for some help, for some guidance, and cherish that time together. Number 7, work a little harder. I know you're trying to preserve your energy because when you pour yourself into something, you deplete your energy and it ends up getting you sick. I know that procrastinating has become a learned behavior because it was a coping mechanism to keep you healthy. But learn how to do things in chunks. Learn how to have the balance between working and resting. You tend to go one way or the other way, and that's why there's the burnout. When you have the equal balance of the two, for every 1 minute you work, you take 1 minute of rest. You will learn to cope properly with this skill that you need in your life. Because at 39 years old, you are now a chronic procrastinator who doesn't know how to kickstart things, and you'll do things and then you'll quit, and then you'll do things and then you'll quit. And if you take time, chunk it out nice and small, that is when you're going to get things done. So learn how to work harder and relax harder. And number 8 rolls into this one. Fill your own cup first. Circling back to number 5, where you don't know how to say no to people, you tend to overflow your cup with everyone else's things. Fill your cup first. You've recently started a beautiful morning routine where you actually commit to a workout, I promise you, every single day, if not 4 or 5 times a week, and you meditate and you journal and you have a cup of tea and you breathe. And these things have absolutely enhanced your life. And I would love for you to commit to doing them right now for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Because now that you're in your late 30s, it feels sometimes that it was a little bit late starting. These tools would have gotten you through so many things, so many hard times in which you could have been a little bit gentler with yourself. So fill your own cup first. Number 9, parenting. Parenting. You're a mom. It's exciting, but it is absolutely the hardest job in the world. And no one tells you that. No one tells you that beforehand. None of your friends, and I hope they're listening to this, God love them. They all had babies before you, or most of them had babies before you, And none of them told you how daunting and exhausting being a mother was going to be. It is absolutely the hardest job in the world. And perhaps you just needed to figure that out for yourself, because I know that everybody's experiences are different. But being a mom and trying to raise a little being is exhausting, and your patience is tested quite often, but it is absolutely the most rewarding job in the entire world. And you feel so blessed and so emotional to be there. Your heart is so full, and you are the most in love that you have ever been in your life with your little one, who, by the way, is not so little anymore. Number 10, will you please frickin' stop worrying and dwelling? If it's not worrying about your health, you're worrying about the way you look. You're worrying about the way you speak. You're worrying about the clothes you wear. You're worrying about the people you meet, the friends you have. Well, maybe not so much the friends you have. The friends you have are amazing, and they are your lifelong friends. You worry about the jobs that you're getting or going to get, or the jobs you're in. You worry and dwell all the time. You dwell on the things that didn't work out in your life constantly. Stop that. Because what's happening is, by worrying and dwelling and being fearful, you're only going to bring in more of that into your life. Stop doing that. Life has such a beautiful, funny way of working out no matter what's happened. There has been some really terrible, heartbreaking moments that have happened in your life, especially in your 20s, I'm sorry to say. But to stand there in your 30s and still dwell on those moments is no longer serving you. Let go of the things that did not work out. Let go of the person that maybe you became once upon a time. You are ever changing, ever growing, and you need to stop worrying that you're not doing it right. Because I can promise you that you are. I can promise you that no matter what happens in life, you're going to be okay. Number 11, do the thing before you're even ready to do the thing. You have a bit of a tendency to want to have everything so perfect, even at 39. This podcast, for instance, you record and you edit and you delete and you re-record and you change your outfits and you want things a certain way, and that perfectionism is absolutely going to serve you well because it's an amazing work ethic to have, but it doesn't reflect how life really works. Are you scared to do something because you are frightened it's not going to be dead on? Do it anyway. I heard something yesterday that somebody in a study group that you're a part of said that some of the most amazing inventions were made by mistake. Did you know that popsicles were a mistake? An 11-year-old boy accidentally froze juice and made popsicles. How amazing is that? So go ahead, make a mistake, fail forward. You're only going to thrive, survive, learn from the things that didn't work out, pivot, and move forward. So don't be scared to just start. And finally, number 12, your CF is going to be a non-issue someday. Yep, you heard me. So all the fear, all the dwelling, all the worrying, all the sleepless nights and coughing and feeling like you're not good enough, like you'll never accomplish anything, is going to miraculously be gone. I wish I would have known at 19 that I was guaranteed this kind of joy. I wish at 19 I would have harnessed that kind of joy. Go after it.